So there it is, everyone. Please welcome Mr. Jerremy Newsome. He is the founder of Real Trading US and one of the most successful traders I know. Not only is he a great trader, but also a great mentor and teacher. And today he's here to talk about trading mentality, master yourself, master the markets, and all these things. Jerremy wrote a book a few years back, and he actually made it into an audio book that I had the pleasure of hearing whilst walking the dog for a while, and it's definitely recommended. So, Jerremy, my man, the floor is yours. Please enlighten us with all your greatness.
Thank you, man. Peter, I love you, brother. One of the things that Peter left out is me and Pete have run a few times together and during a few live events, and it was just me and him.
Yeah,
We were all, everyone's all talking. They're all these big, like, oh, I'll be there. 6 a.m. rolls around. It's me and Peter by ourselves
that's for
doing
sure.
6.2 kilometers, or sorry, 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles on a couple of occasions. Peter's a great man. And I appreciate you being here. By the way, gentlemen, for those of you who are here, if you want to come back on the video, you're more than welcome to. I want to make this relatively interactive. I know everyone in the real life trading Denmark community will have access to this for as long as you want. My
Yeah,
ultimate mission is to really, really provide truly mentally liberating information in today's discussion. Now, when I say mentally liberating, what I mean is I want to help change your beliefs about what's possible because it starts there. It starts with the belief that this is available for me. And then it starts with asking the proper questions of how to get it. So let me give you an example of what that means. Have you ever asked maybe God, maybe the universe, maybe your wife, maybe your parents, maybe your kids? Have you ever asked repeatedly for something and never got it? And the answer is most likely, right? Most likely there's a good chance that you've asked for something again, maybe through prayer, maybe through meditation, maybe a raise, maybe from your boss. There's a really good chance you've been asking and asking and asking and never got it. I want to tell you a story. So my son, Jason, he's 3.5 years old. And for some reason, he's waking up at like 5 a.m. these days. Peter tells me he tells me it's a phase.
it's
Uh,
normal.
it's normal. So he's waking up super early and he was at the fridge pulling on the door at 6 a.m. asking for ice cream. And I'm here as a dad trying to be the best dad possible, which means I'm not going to cave in to his request for ice cream.
Right.
But, gentlemen, know this. He kept asking over and over and over. And I kept saying no over and over and over until, there's a little bit of a tantrum, a little bit of a meltdown. Well, one of my questions to you is what if you were asking God for ice cream for breakfast? Here's what I mean by that. Breakfast, not the best time to have ice cream. I'm not saying ice cream's bad, but I knew in that moment as a dad, and you all know as well, that ice cream does have calories. It does have nutrition, kind of. It does have ingredients that can be good for you, but it's in the right time at the right place. It's not really ultimately generally sought after as a breakfast food. When I say that you could ask for anything, if you believe that the universe is infinite and you can have anything that you want and you do not ask for more, then that shows that you do not have faith in the infinite. Because if you can always have more, if you can never truly run out, if you can always have more love, I'm not always talking about money, more love, more blessings, more health, a better relationship with your wife, a better relationship with your kids, a better relationship with yourself, a better body, you can have more. If you are not asking for that, it shows that you do not have faith. And that's a
Right.
very, very interesting concept to play with. And so one of the beliefs and the mindset changes that I had in my life, probably about 6, 7 years ago, is I just started asking for a lot more. And if Jason at 6 a.m., instead of asking for only ice cream, said, "Hey, Dad, how about this? Let's have How about I have some pancakes, some strawberries, some blueberries, and then maybe a little bit of ice cream as dessert? I might have said yes,
Right.
but that requires him to not only ask for more, but to ask differently. The power of your questions will determine how powerful your life is. Said in another way, the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. What do most people ask when they want to make trading a successful career? How do I make more money trading?
Right.
It's a good question, but that's a question of how can I have ice cream for breakfast?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the base layer, nothing unique, nothing specific, nothing exciting. Gentlemen, and if there's any ladies out there, everyone wants to make more money. Everyone, that's a given. It's not interesting. It's not unique. It's not cool. It's a base layer energy that every single person has. And it's not a bad energy, just like ice cream isn't bad. It just means that ultimately, the goal for you and for your energy is to ask for something bigger, better, more specific. So, who could give me an example of a question that would be better than how can I make more money trading?
How can I live from trading? How can I, give to my family and provide for my family?
That's a great one, Peter. Who else? John, do you have anything? I know it's late over there in Denmark, so thank you.
It's 8 in
Yeah,
the
well,
evening.
hit me with something.
How about becoming better at trading?
Okay, this is a good one. So, how can I become successful at trading? Also, a good question, but still pretty flat. Not a lot of context.
Right.
So, granted, this exercise does take practice. It oftentimes takes leadership, coaching, counseling, right? It takes a little bit of understanding that ultimately we have to start stretching your mind to what's available, what's possible, and what can happen in your life. So here's another great question that you could ask. Let's say that you got together and you said, here's my expenses every month. What if someone said, I want to make my expenses in trading, and that's it. I just want to cover my expenses. That could become a little bit of a better question. But then all you're doing is you're covering your expenses. Now, if you have a job right now and you're covering your expenses, you're like, that'd be amazing, Newsome. I'm like, that'd be the coolest thing ever. It's like, all right, cool. Well, if you start asking for a very, very specific number in a very specific time frame, what's that going to do? It's going to
That's a target for you.
Yes, it's going to start forcing your brain, especially if you do it often. So I'm going to give all of you an example. Don't worry. We're going to talk trading. I promise. I'm going to pull up some charts. But it's going to force your brain to get really, really, really like specific at some point because you're going to get practice of asking questions over and over and over. Because that particular question, you're going to have to move it around. You're going to change it. Because if you say, how can I become successful at trading? And you haven't been successful at trading, but you've been asking that question for 6 years, you're still asking ice cream for breakfast. We got to change the question. You got to ask for something different. You got to ask for something bigger. Because if the market is purely vast, purely abundant, massive, and infinite, or countably infinite in every capacity, asking for more will simply stretch you. It seems counterintuitive because you're like, well, Newsome, if I haven't made any money successfully over time, then how asking for more is not going to help anything. It's like, that's not entirely true because asking for more generally will start shrinking the amount of time that you focus on trading. It'll start shrinking the amount of time that you spend in front of the computers dabbling and tweaking. If you're taking notes, write down one of my new favorite quotes for the year, and then we're going to go look at a chart. I no longer dabble with decimals. I only converse with commas. What does that mean? It's a mindset shift. It's a tweak. It's an adjustment. Because all of us, all of you, you're after more money. And that's okay. But if I sat down and say, how can I make, and let me bring out a whiteboard and then I'm going to hit up the charts. Give me 3 seconds to share this whiteboard. Okay, I guess I'm gonna click new. All right, I'm gonna type this in. What if the question was, and I'm gonna just talk in US dollars if that's okay.
That
How
is
can
good.
how can I make how can I create, attract, and play to earn $12,000 per month in the markets? Is that a different question? Yes or yes?
Well, yes.
It's a much different question. All right. Now imagine, again, back to Jason's story. I said that if he asked for a little bit more, right, more food and maybe ice cream at the end, I might have given it to him. But if he started asking bigger, better, more bold questions and didn't throw a temper tantrum, six. But what this does is it creates different words. And what do words do? Words create your world. Because who here wants to work more?
Work more? Very few.
I don't want to work more. Right? And here's the other cool part. I don't want to become successful at anything. I just want to be successful now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for something amazing to happen. I want it now. I don't want it tomorrow. I don't want it next month. I want it now. So what will that do? If your words create your world and you start speaking and saying and stating, I am successful at trading. So now, brain, let's figure out how I can create, attract, and play to earn $12,000 a month in the markets. It also starts changing your identity. It starts changing what you look at. It starts changing what you think is possible. It starts shifting everything around you. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
I like that Jesper is having a big smile. It makes me happy. All right, good. So let's go look at an example in the markets of when I started asking this question, what I thought $12,000 a month. All right, you guys ready for this? $12,000 a month. Now, I know everything I'm about to say is very obvious to you, and you're gonna be like, yeah, Newsome, of course, not impressive, but whatever. $12,000 is 12 points on what? 1,000 shares.
Right.
Is that math accurate? Yes or yes?
It's pretty accurate.
It's very accurate math. So now guess what? Because now if I asked a very specific question, your brain's going to start solving for a very specific answer. Now I get to say, all right, well, if I did this with my Ironman races, I did this with all of my 100-mile races, I did this with all my ultra stuff, is I found a target, I started asking specific questions, and I started breaking down the specific questions to help my feeble brain understand it more. I wanted to try to understand precisely like what I was actually asking for and break it down into its most interesting components. So if $12,000 US per month is 12 points on 1,000 shares, then my question becomes, can I buy 1,000 shares of a stock and will it move 12 points? Or what if I take a trade 12 days per month? 12 days a month. Oh, where am I going with this? All right, 12 days a month. You guys know what I'm about to say right next, right? 12 days a month, 1,000 shares. How many do I need to capture now?
One.
1 point of movement. 1 point. That's it. Are you telling me you can't find stocks that are going to move a point? 12 times a month? 1 point, $1? That's it? You can't find it? You can't come up with a strategy to find a stock that's going to move $1? Now, I say move, you guys all know you can make money if it goes down, you can make money if it goes up. It doesn't matter the direction. It's a lot easier to trade with the trend for sure. But what if you found a trend of a company and you said, all right, cool, I'm just going to put in $1,000. I'm going to buy 1,000 shares of this stock that's in a trend up or down. I'm going to be in 1,000 shares, and when it moves 12 points, I'm going to get out. So,
yeah, man.
Now what I'm going to do, because Peter asked me to do this, he said, Newsome, I want you to give my squad gold. Gold. Don't give him silver. Don't give him copper. Give him straight gold. I'm going to give you a scanner that I have practiced with many times, and it's free, as everything is. It's very easy to build. I'm going to give you a scanner that I use on a daily and sometimes weekly basis to find stocks. They're going to do what? Move a point. quickly move a point. And then my brain simply goes, how can I buy 1,000 shares or 2,000 or 3? It works with any amount of shares. It doesn't matter. If it works with 1,000, will it work with 10,000? It will. Yeah. And when you start playing with 10,000 shares of a stock family, your life will change very quickly. Very, very quickly. Because now instead of making $12,000 a month, you're making $120,000 a month, and the math doesn't change. You just add a zero. All right. So hit me with a 5 if you want me and Peter to show you a scan that will change your life. Only if you use it, though. Only if you use it. If you don't use knowledge, it will not change your life. If you do use knowledge, it will change your life. Okay. I'm getting some 5s. Beautiful. Now remember, this is a great time to do a sales pitch, but as Peter knows, I don't do sales pitches. Here it is.
That's right.
Here it is. All right. Let's go into finviz.com. Totally free. Okay. I need a pop-up blocker. We click screener. I'm going to select all right here. So this is all the settings in Finviz. Okay. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the price because I want stocks that are not very pricey. I want them to be very fast moving. So I'm going to do $1 to 20. So we're going to now take down the stock market a lot. All right. Now I'm going to put on average volume. I want something a little chunky, 750,000 shares. So if it's 750,000 shares, do you think that you'll be able to buy and sell 1,000 pretty easily? The answer is yes, right? You won't even show up on the radar. Okay. Now I'm going to put relative volume, which is like today, how much is the volume? We're going to do over 1.5. Now we're at 108. Short float. I want a little bit of people shorting it. Over 5%. Boom. Now we're down to 47. Beta. Over 1. Now it's more volatile than the S&P by a point. And then average true range. We're going to do over 1. And it should take us down one more notch. And now we have 4 tickers. Four.
Right, that's cool.
We've narrowed down the entire market into 4 tickers. Now I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to put it to Peter's Slack, and then he can share this with you guys later. And then I'm going to go through these tickers. Now, what I'm about to show you, I am in 2 of these positions right now. QBT. Actually, no, sorry, I'm in Solaris also. I'm in 3 of these tickers. And I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to like, oh, look what I did. Nothing like that. You all know I make money trading. Like that part's easy, but it's a mindset. Remember, Jesper, it's a mindset. I'm always successful. In fact, write this down. I make money every day in the markets. Sometimes it's just for someone else.
That's right.
I'm always making money, family. What a mindset change. I no longer lose. I don't lose on positions. I just give someone else my money. I circulate currency. I'm an abundant person. That is a shift. And I know your brain deep down inside, you're like, this is the biggest bunch of shit in the world. Like, this is so stupid. But I promise it works. You got to believe me. I mean, you got to believe me. Right? This is not a virtual background. This is a real background. You got to believe me. It works. Okay. Let's go and look at these 4 really quick. QBT is the first one that's on the list. Now, I've been trading QBT for a hot second. I got to validate this for a bit. I took this trade yesterday. I'm not in today, but let me show you the trade I took yesterday. You guys ready? I'm going to back it up in time. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to go daily, weekly, monthly really fast. Daily chart. What's the trend? Up or down? Say it out loud. I can't hear you. Up. Good. Weekly. What's the trend? Up. Beautiful. Monthly, what's the trend? Let me zoom out for a second. Yeah, it's up. Exactly. We're at a little bit of a resistance. Perfect. Now I'm going to put on the long terms. You guys all know this. 100 and 200. All right, we're above the 100 on the monthly. Great. Weekly, we're above the 100 and 200 on the weekly. Great. We're above the 100 and 200 on the daily. Great. What's the trend? Bullish. Awesome. What's the stock doing? Compressing. What was the volume? Bullish. What's the trend? Bullish. All right, what's this candlestick pattern? It's an ugly morning star reversal. Okay. So I'm thinking, what's the trend? You guys all know this. This is class 1, step 1, day 1. Find the trend, play the trend. That's it. That's it. Awesome. Day 1. Step 1, day 1, play 1. What's the trend? Play it.
Bullish. Let's go.
Like, what if it does this? I don't care. You're going to lose a little bit of money. Move on. It's irrelevant. You'll give money to someone else who played it bearish. Good for them. Play the trends bullish. That's why Peter made a bunch of money on Tesla this year, because I made him play the stupid thing bullish. I was like, bro, it's going higher. Don't listen to anyone else. Listen to me. It's going to go up. All right. So now what I'm going to do, just for integrity purposes, I got to show you this. I'm going to pull up Slack. You all know that me and Yates work on the Real Life Trading newsletter. All right. So let me go over here. I'm going to go to Yates. This is me and his private DMs. All right. So we're chatting. I'm going to slide in here. Okay. These are our trade setups. Okay. This is Sunday, 9 in the morning. Boy, dog, your boy's grinding at Sunday at 9 a.m. All right. Sunday. Let me pull up the chart. Look at that trade setup. Yes. Got out. Target hit. This was a 4-point move, family. 4 points one day. Did I know it was going to move 4 points? No. Like, of course not. I didn't know I was going to do it in a day. So I'm risking $2 to make 4. Yes or yes? This is simple, gentlemen. You guys all know this part. All this part's easy. Why aren't you doing it is the question you need to ask yourself. That's the question you need to figure out. Why am I making this so difficult? And that's because your words, your phrases, the mindset that you're having, you have a mindset that says, how can I work harder to make more money? There's a book, I'm sure you've all read it, but the title contains the secret. Think and Grow Rich. You got to think more. This is me on a Sunday morning, chatting with a really good trader, sharing trade ideas, setting up trade ideas. All right. So I pop back over. This is what the trade I saw. Okay. This isn't the exact numbers, but let's just humor me for a second, because I didn't get in at this exact day, and the paper trading isn't that perfect in TradingView. But let's just say I bought 2,000 shares. I bought them a little bit higher, so the P&L is not going to be totally accurate. I did buy 2,000 shares on this trade. Stock pops. I got out same day, right? Because it hit my target. Look at the P&L. Now, I know you guys are smiling. It's super nice, right? But was that second grade math? If it moves 4 points and you have 2,000 shares, how much do you make? $8,000 forever. For the rest of human history, gentlemen. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Now, I know you can be like, well, how'd you find the stock? I gave you the screener. Like this. What are you talking? This is it. It's on the screener now. The screener's free. It doesn't even cost anything. Now, here's what you guys should be making fun of me. You should be making fun of me going, Newsome, how come you didn't buy 10,000 shares? That's what you should be saying. I'm like, I know, because I'm a pansy. That's why. I'm a pansy. I haven't studied quantum computing at all. I'm slacking. I didn't see this pattern until the weekend, but what are you going to do? I have a certain rule for that, right? But my risk is $10,000 total. And when I play trades, I don't know anything about them. I usually half my risk down a little bit. Long story short, I made money on the trade. It was a good position. I played the trend. Hashtag surprise, surprise. Today, what did it do? Gapped up, opened above the high of the prior day. Peter, what type of gap is this?
Retest gap.
Of course it is. It's a retest gap. So at open, would you have known that you're probably going to get a little bit of a retest?
Yes.
Yeah, you would. I mean, high likelihood. What if it just took off, never retested? All right, you missed it. I mean, that's cool. That's called Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right? There's more $1 million opportunities in the market every day that you can take advantage of in a lifetime, people. So you know it's going to retest. What if you just put an order to buy 1,000 shares at 13? Does anyone here have $13,000 US? The answer is yes. All of you have $13,000 US. And what if you put a stop loss at 11? Okay. So you're risking 1,000 shares, $2, $2,000, and you got out today at 16 or 17. Now you can't say, well, how do you know to buy at 13? I don't know, just using round numbers. Like, I mean, you can zoom into a smaller time frame if you want to. Here's the hourly chart. Here's the pre-market. I mean, you guys all know how to do this, right? Here's your moving averages. It's not ultimately rocket science. It's like you buy the dip, the trend's bullish, you buy a pullback, like don't overcomplicate the process entirely. If you want to use a 78-minute chart, use a 78-minute chart. Peter's giving you the Momo indicator, use Momo. I don't know, like it's here. So the thing is, it's really, really ultimately not that crazily difficult.
So why is it so hard?
Because we make it hard. We have a belief in our brain somewhere that I can't have it easy, that if it comes easy and fast, I will lose it, that I'm not prepared to have a bunch of money come into my life because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't have an exact, very precise plan for it, and I haven't really been a good steward to money in the past. These are all beliefs that are in your brain somewhere that you have to work through. You've got to work through those beliefs, because if you believe, man, I lost a bunch of money in the past, I was a stupid dummy, I messed up, you got to forgive yourself for those stuff, family. Don't turn your life lessons into a life sentence. Learn from them and move on. So, all right, cool. I lost money. Great. You're going to live another 60 years. Go make some money. You see, the thing is, when I take trades, I generally know what I'm going to spend the money on. I generally know ahead of time. Now, here's the best part. I'm not saying that you have to do this now, but this is just what I did. Don't do this because it only works, but don't do it because it's scary. I go buy things that I want, and then I go trade to pay for them.
So you do it in the reverse?
I do it in reverse. I step into faith first and go, nah, I really want that thing. So I'm gonna buy that thing, and then I'm gonna go trade and make for it. That's just how I do it. I'm not saying you don't do it that way, but it does work. But it requires a little bit of faith. It requires a little bit of diligence. It requires a little bit of practice. It requires an, oh my gosh, even if this trade doesn't work, I still want to go do this thing. So I'm going to go either way. Because a lot of times, what do most people want to do with their life? They want to travel more. They want to spend more time with their family. So go travel more and spend more time with your family. That's what you want to do. Like, but I don't have the money. Yeah, everyone here has a credit card, right? Like, you have money. Everyone has money. You got some money somewhere. Spend the money, go on the trip, pay for it with trading. And you're like, but I was told not to do that because I might go into debt. Well, we're all going to die in 70 years anyway. Like, go enjoy the trip with your family. And then maybe when you're on your trip, you're going to be happier and less stressed. And if you're happier and less stressed, how's your trading going to be? Probably better. And here's the best part. What if you go with your family and you're traveling and you don't like it? You're like, oh man, that's not actually why I want to make money. Maybe I want to make money so I can do something else with it. That's also good to know though, right? So the beauty is, team, it's all an awareness. It's an awareness of who you are, what you are, where you are, why you're there, asking those big chunky questions to yourself to not overcomplicate the process. All right, let's go look at another one. I missed this one, RGTI. I'm not in this trade at all, but the setup was there. Let me show you guys when I missed this. And you're going to look at it and go, how'd you miss this? I'm going to go, I don't know. I don't know how I missed this. Again, just a turd, I guess. Every one of you knows how to play this, right? The truth is, I really do think I stumbled on, if I look at this chart, I actually think I stumbled on this trade this day, which makes me feel even more like a moron. Double 10 EMA inside bear candle setup. I was like, what? Newsome, you missed that trade at $2.40? Unbelievable, bro. Like, what are you doing all day? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I missed this. So I'm going to blame it on Thanksgiving because it was November 27th, whatever. That's my excuse. I missed this trade. So I'm trying to get at. But look how nicely it moved. Now, again, I'm going to back up for a second. So when I found it here, let's just go analyze it really quick. Volume. Yes or yes? Yes, we got the volume. All right, here's the weekly chart. Let's go look at all the moving averages on a weekly chart. Are we above them? Yes, we are. Monthly chart. Are we above them? Yes, we are. Look at the volume. You guys have all watched my volume video 400 times. What type of volume is that, Peter?
Extortion volume.
What's that?
I'd say, well, it's at the bottom. That's where you shoot off.
That's right,
Whatever
brother.
you call it. Yeah, buying
Buying
volume. Yeah.
volume. Exactly. Is that a lot or a little?
Compared to everything else, it's a lot.
Is it at when the stock is low or when the stock is high?
Yeah, low.
So tons of buying volume when the stock is low, above all the moving averages on all time frames, daily, weekly, monthly. What are you going to do?
Definitely not traded.
Well, that's what I did. I was like, nah, this is too good. I don't want to make money on this. This would suck. Guys, I want you to rewatch this video 1,000 times. Like, this is the secret. It's not hard. Make it easier in your mind. Here is the daily 100, 200. We're above it. Here is the weekly 100, 200. We were above it. I mean, we're above everything. All of it was ready to go. Like, get in. And if you get in here, you get in on this like breakout, right? Like this congestion here. And if you're like, well, Newsome, maybe it's gone too far. Like, I'm scared. Bro, it's a $3.50 stock. Like, it's okay. Chill out. Entry here, stop here if you want. Like, it's $3.50. It's like you're not buying Amazon with all of your money at the all-time high. In fact, the stock has gone higher before. It's not an all-time high. It's not extended. It's been trading sideways since December of 2022. Things break out when you have that much buying volume at that low of a level. That's what buying volume is. Plus, we consolidated for a week. I'm really saying all this to me so that I'm not chicken the next time I see this trade. But getting in, I really wasn't chicken. I think I just missed it. Truthfully. Getting in at 350 is, it doesn't look that hard. Now, again, I know all of this is hindsight. I can respect that. But to remind you, your job as a trader is to study hindsight and remember, ask big, chunky, quality questions like, why am I not in this trade? What fears, imagine asking the question, what fears do I have that's keeping me out of this position? What a question that is. I'm afraid of losing. That's the dumbest thing to be afraid of. Like, it's a guarantee. That's like saying, I don't want to get married and I don't want to have kids because I'm afraid that my kids are going to get sick and they're going to cough on me and then I'm going to get sick. What? Right? Like, I don't want to have kids because I want 8 hours of sleep every night, all night. Like, what are you talking about? There's certain things. You guys get what I'm saying. Like, you can't go to the beach and not get sand on you. If you want to do something and you're not doing it, that's a great question to ask. Why am I not doing this? Okay, just to continue with the screener. Soundhound. Our boy Johnny Guarco caught this. I'm not in this trade. But you guys all know Johnny. He's really, really happy about this position. I'm super happy for him. To not overcomplicate the issue, right? Weekly 100 SMA. I mean, once it breaks out above 8, what's it doing? There's nothing there. You guys all see that? There's nothing there. So over on the daily chart, you got an earnings. You got a bunch of 10 EMA trades. Here's the 10 EMA right here. If you didn't like that one, here's one. If you didn't like that one, here's one. If this candle triggers you, awesome. If you don't see, let's go back. Hold on. So let's say you're looking at this, and this is what you see right here. Right? And you're like, oh, wow, look at that. How do you play this? Well, it's a retest gap, full candle gapping up. So you do what? Buy the dip. Entry stop. So you're buying it at $9. You put a stop at $7. You guys see the form? I mean, this is a pretty common formula with these really semi-cheap stocks, right? You're filled, and then boom. I mean, it's amazing. That's an amazing profit. It's a really great trade.
Something's coming.
So again, I'm not in this position, but that one is really, really nice. And then Solar Edge, right? Solar Edge has been a bear position. I'm probably going to get stopped out of this trade. So I got to show you guys a loser. I can't just show up to Peter's presentation, only show you guys winners. So I took an entry here, stop loss here. Almost got stopped out, didn't. Bull candle comes in, move my stop a little bit. So my stop is right here. Probably going to get stopped out of this trade. Now, this is a downward trend though. So let's go to the weekly chart. Is this an upward trend or a downward trend? Obviously, it's a downward trend, right? So I thought maybe the trend would reverse. It didn't. It's okay. I'm going to lose on this trade. It's not a big deal. All right. So again, this is a great representation of looking through trades, looking through charts. You can do this screener every day. And you can tweak and adjust this screener too if you want to, right? You can change relative volume. You can change the beta. You can change the average true range. You can change the price. You can change any of these. You can tweak and adjust, especially if you do the scanner and you get no trade setups, right? You get 0 setups. Then just go and create something different.
Right.
Or just don't trade that day, right? Wait for another trade setup to come in. Type it on one if that makes sense, and then hit me with any questions that you all have. Because again, at this point, all of this stuff is about sitting down and really, really thinking through. Remember the book, Think and Grow Rich. If you spent 2 hours a week in silence, which, hey, dad to dad, I know that's tough, but you got to just schedule it. It doesn't have to be like a window. It can be 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. But if you spend time in silence, thinking, planning, creating, ideating, what's going to happen? Why is that going to happen? What's interesting about this company? What's interesting about this stock? What's interesting about this pattern? Why am I scared? Why am I not getting into this trade? What fears do I have? Where did I learn those fears? I mean, I'm giving you guys 15 years of inner work, right? Like that question, where did I learn those fears? Where do you think I got some good answers from that? I mean, obviously they're from mom and dad, brothers and sisters, cousins, but that's really, really what helped me is sitting down, asking those big, powerful questions. And then of course, saying to myself, saying to my family, saying to the universe, I want more. I'm ready for more. I want to live a big, happy, crazy, exciting, vibrant life. I'm ready for it. I'm going to do whatever it takes, whatever that is. And sometimes that was showing up, buying a ticket that I didn't have the money for, that I had to put on a credit card to go network, to go meditate, to go study, to go pray, to be in silence for 2 days. Can you guys imagine being in silence for 2 days with hundreds of other people, not eating food, talking? Like you're
Never done it.
It's weird. It's super strange. But what would you do to make $12,000 a month? And I said, anything. I will do anything. So when I got presented with some opportunities to do anything, I said yes to those opportunities.
So Jerremy, how would you build that belief in yourself? How would you build that trading confidence so that you could go in and do those trades that you just showed us? So that's one of the main things we talk about. Besides, technical analysis and all the strategies and stuff, is trading psychology and building that courage to do the trade, even though you're down on your account, you're burning your fingers, and you just know that this is the way. How do you build that confidence?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, man. I mean, really, ultimately, the question I truly heard was like, how do you become super confident in your trades, right? Like, how do you become super confident in your process? Number one, grow a Viking beard. Duh, right? You guys are all Vikings. So where's my number two? is practice the same setup over and over and over, the same trade, the same exact trade over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So like this trade here, UMCO, is one that I was in. I made some good money on. Same thing, by the way. Nothing ultimately that crazy. Big volume came in, right? You guys can all see the volume. Let me give you the example of what I did. So, all right, big volume came in, retest gap. We retest, blah, blah, blah. Right. We're above all moving averages on all time frames. The trend should likely be bullish. And then you get what? You get a 10 EMA trade set up. So it's like, okay, cool. Entry, stop. Now, I know all that looks simple, but I took this trade. Even taking this trade, how many times do you think I've practiced this exact setup? So that I don't even question it. I can't question it. I just go and do it. So even when you win on a trade and it's a really good trade and you like it, practice that winner over and over and over and over 100 times in a row. It might take an hour, but even if you're speaking it out loud and you're saying, okay, cool, I'm logging in, I'm setting up the trade. I see the 10 EMA, retest gap, volume, entry, stop, target, amount of shares, quantity, order type, input into the broker, press submit, boom. Play the trade, let it play out, sell, exit, lock in the game, do it all over again. Even if you're speaking this stuff out loud, doing it over and over and over, inside pressure, consolidation, big upper shadow comes in. I like the upper shadow. That makes me feel good. If we take out that upper shadow, a lot of bears should be trapped. Oh my gosh, we opened above that candle. Another nice 10 EMA. I'm gonna add to my position. I'm gonna get in above this candle. I'm gonna get in above this candle. I'm gonna keep my stop right here. I'm not gonna change my stop at all. That looks really cool. Boom. Entry. Oh my gosh, this is really nice. Bang. Market gapped up the next day. Exit. Right? Now you're like, oh, why'd you get out so quick? Well, average cost was 16 and we went to 24. That's $8 a share. $8 a share.
Yeah,
$8. Whoa, dude. So if you buy 1,000 shares, you make $8,000. If your goal is to make $12,000 a month, you're halfway there. So now you get to wait a whole 2 weeks and go find another good trade. Would you all agree? Yeah.
Sure.
So that's what I have found personally for me is it really is just repeating a process over and over and over so that when you see a pattern, if you see it, if you truly see it, you can't flinch. Here's another great one. This is a day trade. Okay. Tesla today.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What type of gap? Retest gap. Blah, blah. We all know this. All right. 3-minute chart. Okay. 3-minute chart. 10 EMA. Right. The stock retested. I mean, you guys all know this. Here's the retest. If I zoom out a little bit, right? Why would you sell right here? Multiple bull candles in a row, above pre-market high, all-time high. Tesla's been going straight up forever, so you know there's going to be some people are going to take some profit. And if you took that 10 EMA trade today, right, from a day trade, if you took it, you're profitable. If you entered here, stop here, or stop here, you're profitable up here.
Sure.
And I didn't take this one, but look at this short. Right, 10 EMA, entry, stop, yawn, boring, 1.2, I like it. You all know that stuff. But imagine you practice this exact trade 100 times today, and then tomorrow, the same trade. I got a funny story, and then I'll open up for another round of questions. So semi-funny story, not really, well, whatever. There's this guy who's training. He's going to someone like Peter, who's a special forces weapon, right? This guy's a unit, and he's learning how to do gun takeaways, right? And so in this operation, there's this random guy, normal guy like me, right? Random civilian who's learning from a special ops guy like Peter how to take guns away. So they do the thing, take the gun away, right? Do all the things, give it back to the guy. Take the gun, do all the things, give it back to the guy. He's doing this hundreds of times. So it's a boot camp, right? Over and over and over. Well, 2 years go by. The dude and his wife get mugged at a theater. Guy comes up to the dude, takes the gun, holds the gun at the guy. He freaks out for a second, and then takes the gun, does all the things, and then does what?
Gives it back.
Dumb story. Probably not even real. Peter knew where I was going with it. But the truth is, it's like whatever you do habitually becomes a practice. And if you completely rewire your brain to when you're getting into the trade, just say, know, feel, think, and truly understand abundance, positivity, awareness. Like I'm gonna, one or two things are gonna happen. I'm either gonna give money to someone else or I'm gonna give money to me. But either way, I'm giving money. I'm never losing. I'm always gonna be correct. This is a great trade. I am successful now. I'm a great trader now. I want more money for my family. I need more money for my family. I'm gonna take this trade. It's better to be pulled by your purpose than pushed by your pain. A lot of men are pushed by their pain because they want to get out of debt or they want to pay off all their bad mistakes from the previous trading life, right? Your life lessons. Okay, that's fine, but don't beat yourself up over that stuff. Get over it, forgive yourself, and then go like, yeah, but I could do this. This thing is really awesome. I could go do this experience. We could go and travel here. I could buy this watch. You know, I don't really wear watches. Like I could buy this car or whatever. Bring pleasure and happiness into money, because whoever says money can't buy happiness doesn't know where to shop. It can buy short-term happiness for sure. I've never seen anyone frown on a jet ski. So when you have the ability to go, listen, I want to experience this part of life. I want more. I'm ready for more. I'm called for more, and enter into that world of more, you'll get it.
For
so
sure.
Yeah. Henrik, anyone else? Jacob, Anders, Jesper, Steve. Any questions for me?
Come on, guys. Let's hear your school English. Come, good questions for Jerremy. I'll just pester him with my questions. No?
It's been awesome. It's been awesome. Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it. So happy you're having fun.
Awesome. Any questions? Yeah, Jacob?
No, nothing. Yeah.
Cool.
It's been great.
So I have a follow-up on the question from before. Do you trade differently if you have? Well, I know it's many years ago, but from when you had a small account till now, when you have this humongous account where you can do anything and make $1 million in a day.
There's a huge difference. Yeah, huge difference. Smaller account, focus it on one thing and then study. Go make money doing something else.
So that's one strategy. For example, if you go, if you day trade,
like not even almost a strategy. It's like buy a company that's going to go higher,
right,
and leave it alone. Take all of your small account, because you already got a small account. Meaning the way I viewed it is I'm already broke. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm just going to be more broke. I'm already broke. I don't have that much money. Like for me, and again, it's just my opinion, but $100,000 or less. Like at $100,000, you can start diversifying and playing, tweaking, optimizing. If you don't have $100,000, and there's a reason that number is so special. When you get $100,000, you have more dollars than days left to live. So you have to start using money to buy time at $100,000. That's every entrepreneur I've ever met. That's where everything starts changing for them a little bit. Because now you have enough money where you can essentially kind of buy whatever you want, within reason. So the truth is, at that point, you can start diversifying and playing different things. For me, up until 100,000, and Peter already knows this, I took every amount of money that I had, so $25,000, and I would put it into one stock. And I would do a covered call. And I didn't do anything. I was done. I had no more money. My money's in the market. It's done. And you guys already know the stocks. So don't tend like you're like, oh, what stock? You already know. It was Apple. So then I go and practice. Then I go and study. Then I ask the question, how can I make more money doing something else with my life? and I would take a little bit of my excess of revenue, because all of you can make an extra $100 a week doing something. But I would take any extra revenue and I would do what? Add it to that account. So manually grow it, and then hopefully the stock would grow it. And once I bought some shares and I got called away, what would I do? I would take all of the money again and I would put it into another company, usually. Sometimes it's the same one, but usually, but again, we're talking top 25 company in the world. It's not going to go to zero. If it goes to zero, you're broke and so is everyone else. So now you got buddies to hang out with, right? Like you got friends who are also broke. So like, hey, bro, you bought Tesla and it went to zero? I did too. That's crazy. So you're buying a top 20 company. Apple, Amazon, Google, Netflix, right? And you leave it alone. What if it takes a year to go up? Good. Study for a whole year. And again, remember, I keep adding money to this account, adding a little bit of money, adding a little bit of money. What does it do? It does start to balloon. And there is a tipping point at some juncture. Again, especially depending on what market you're in. You guys already know, I'm not even going to pull up Tesla or Amazon or Nvidia, or Apple. You guys already know how much they've moved. So it's irrelevant to look at that. But if you did any of those big name companies over the last 6 months, I mean, you're up 45, 50, 60, 70%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like that's an incredible return for a shorter period of time. And so if your $25,000 is now probably like 47, that means next year it's going to get to 100. And then it mushrooms. It really does. I promise. Because then at $100,000, all I really started doing was the same exact thing, but putting a little bit more positions around. So I'd have, instead of one, I'd have 2 or 3. Now, again, I would leave it alone and just kind of repeat that process. But now I would start to peel off a little bit of my winnings to pay for my life. And I wouldn't put money back into the account. I would just kind of keep growing it. And then I took money into other accounts. Yeah. So remember, like, instead of building up that account, I would take an extra $100 a week, whatever, and start funding longer term accounts.
Yeah.
The big retirement, whatever.
So what you're saying is just to narrow it down to some language here, is that it's not day trades that you're doing. It's swing trades if it's not position trades you're doing to grow your account like that.
Yep.
And when would you start day trading it then?
Yeah, great question. So I wouldn't day trade that account. The smaller account, the one that you're looking to grow, I would look at when you start day trading, because day trading is the practice.
Right. Yeah, except that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So that's what when your account's doing its thing, you got $25,000 in Apple, boring old Apple. All right, cool. Then go paper trade day trading, practice day trading, make a little bit of money with day trading, interact with it, because it does speed up your learning process. It speeds up the moving averages. It gives you more real-time data. And the day trading piece is ultimately when you, for 3 months in a row, honestly, like, you can say, I have followed my rules, I have followed my plan, and I am profitable 3 months in a row, and I haven't broken one single rule, and I was profitable every 3 months. Then you can find a way to allocate some of the bigger, like, swing trading account money into a day trading account, split the two, which is what I did, and then kind of went from there.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good stuff, man. So, options. Any, when did you start dabbling with that? Talking into experience and also account size and all these things.
Yeah, the only option trade I did successfully was covered calls and put sales.
Yeah.
You don't make any money really from the covered call premium or the put sale premium. What those do is they pay you to stay patient.
Yeah.
Pay you to sell and liquidate and take your profits. Like, that's all they really ultimately do. Is it's kind of like saying, hey, I want to sell Apple. Okay, you sure? All right, here's $100. Make sure you sell Apple. That's really what covered calls do. But I really implemented those pretty much immediately because I always understood that strategy, and it just made sense to me.
Yeah, it's the wheel strategy, right?
Yeah, the wheel. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really nothing ultimately that crazy. But again, just know that you're never going to get rich from selling puts. You can make money from selling puts, but Peter will tell you, if you sell puts too aggressively, it'll burn you very fast. So you'll never get rich selling puts, but you can make consistent money doing it as long as you stay small and nimble. The money that you make is from your shares, right? From buying shares, from owning shares and letting those grow over time. But it's a great strategy. I mean, it's really boring. It's nothing really ultimately that exciting. The only other strategy that I would really tell people for the first 3 years to do is buy long-term options on a stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a stock that's in a guaranteed uptrend. So confirmed, no question, Tesla, right? Something absolutely in an uptrend. Wait for a big down day. So I usually classify big down days like 5% or more. Big selling event, buy a long-term call on that day. And I did that with Roblox the other day. I'll just show you. Here's RBLX. So right here, this was a relatively decent down day, right? We had a good trend, all the things, S curve. We pulled back. That was the only real down day I got. I had some shares that I bought over here, and I got called away over here. So I need to get back into the position. It did its thing. I tried to buy here. It didn't come down to there. Whatever. Missed it. Certified uptrends above every moving average on every time frame. Big down day. Bought leaps.
Right. Yeah.
So bought long-term calls. And again, those are January, so I'm just going to leave those alone. And I'm not gonna do anything with those guys. I'm not going to trade them. I'm not going to touch them. I'm just going to leave them alone really until like March. See what they do, right? Maybe they do something cool, maybe they don't. But I'm just going to leave them alone, let them do their thing, and hope they win. Yeah. And between now and March-ish is when I'll probably start looking to exit or peel a position off or something like that. But those are really the main strategies I personally would suggest most people use in the first 4 years until they start making money. When you start making profits, and you're like, man, holy smokes, I've paid my bills, I've paid off my debt, I got an extra $7,000 like monthly coming in. Go play around with other stuff, right? Learn other stuff, twiddle, dabble, experiment, learn. But be bread and butter, Henrik. Do it, but do it bigger. That's how you make good money.
Yeah.
Do bread and butter, study bread and butter, and then put more bread on the table so your family can eat.
Hell yeah, man. For sure. Hey, thanks, man. It's been awesome. Any last questions for Jerremy? This is your chance, guys, to get all those good trading questions answered. Not from me, but from Jerremy. He's the guy, Come on.
This isn't a decent, you can say, trading question, but what is your take on the whole Trump situation with the market trends in the States? Do you have any thoughts or?
I do have thoughts. I do. And this is probably going to be less a political statement, more just like a market cycle statement. Markets love one of two things: absolute like quagmire, blue, red, all across the board, so nothing ever gets done. Markets love those. Markets also love blue waves and red waves, historically. So recently we had a blue wave 4 years ago. Markets crushed. Now we got a red wave. Market's going to crush. I think in January, February, we have a decent pullback. It's needed 7 to 10%, 15% max in the broader markets.
Yeah.
So that means like Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, they might pull back 15, 20% max. And good, really, really good buying opportunity. And crazily enough, we keep going higher. That's the trend. Trend is really bullish. We have an amazing, very rare triple gap on the Qs that did not fill. Right here. Triple gap at 493. If we get one of these, good God. Oh, man, that'd be amazing. Like, I'm just like, whoop. Chips in, and I'm ready for January, February, March, April. Usually the best, most profitable times of the month for me. You guys ready? November to April.
Amen.
That's it. I believe in Santa Claus, team. Long is strong, and almost every November I'm buying. Like October, August, September, October months are down. I buy. November through March, April, I'm winning, and I get out. If you follow those like mechanics, essentially, you'll make plenty of money. And if you sprinkle a little bit of extra risk and a little bit extra, entry position size at the right time on the right dip, which when we get the next one, that'll be the time to do it again. I think that's how you get rich. I'll say this: if you voted for Trump, and you don't make hundreds of thousands or millions in the next 4 years, should have voted for someone else.
Well, we didn't vote for him.
Well,
We're
you
on the other side of the water, man.
could have flown back over and like penciled in. Yeah. Well, I
Awesome.
should say, yeah, if you like him, if you don't like him, that's fine. I don't personally like him as a person. But anyway, if you are in that mindset of conservativeness, I think you guys know what I mean by that. Like, you know, this is the season. And if you hate him, that's fine. Also, that's okay. Just don't bet against Elon and Trump and the whole like Department of Government officials. Don't bet against it.
Right.
The reason I'm saying that, not from a political standpoint, because there's no chance that you're better at calling tops than I am. And so you're going to have to be really good at calling tops to catch the top of this market. You're going to have to be the best in the world.
For sure. Hey, thanks, man. This is awesome, man. And thank you for that trading view on the American political situation. Also, it's one of the things that can be hard to gauge from afar. And I think you're the man who can kind of explain that to us Vikings over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%, man.
we're more concerned about the Ukraine and all that stuff. It's more in our neighborhood.
No, of course, it makes a lot more sense. I mean, I will say this, like, just statistically speaking, President Biden pardoned like 6,000 people. Trump pardoned 2,000 people. He really isn't a big war guy. He really, like, people can say whatever they want to say about him, but like historically speaking, he doesn't like war. He loves money.
Yeah, he's a
He
businessman.
loves money. So he doesn't want a war. Um, so anyway, like he doesn't benefit from war. Like he doesn't own a lot of war manufacturing. Like he owns real estate.
Yeah, yeah,
So he needs taxes, land, real estate laws to make his money and to get his ego inflated. That's all he cares about.
for sure.
And if you think
Awesome.
about it in a weird way, if he does promote war and America gets attacked, guess what's going to be damaged? His real estate. So he doesn't want that to happen.
Exactly. Well, that makes sense. It makes sense. That's good logic. Good logic. All right, guys. Any questions here in the end?
If we have time for a little Tesla tweet or tweak, or that would be nice, just to have your take on the Tesla stock.
Tesla stock.
Was that the stock you made $1 million on yesterday?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Did you actually make $1 million in one trade, or combined on the day?
Combined, yeah, total. It's like it's the P&L. I wish it would have been really cool to make $1 million that day, but no, just combined from this breakout. Because I bought a lot here, and I've been in and out, in and out, in and out. But yeah, it's been really, really, really fantastic. My take, we absolutely go higher. You all know that, right? Everyone knows that. Okay. If there's any Tesla bears in the room, you're wrong. So you're welcome. You're just on the wrong side. That's the worst that we get. That's the worst we get. So have a pyramid, have orders, a little sideways move. I'll pick some up. Like this is orange is worst case scenario. So small dips, you can add, buy, be in long. If you're buying options, buy long calls, long term. If you're buying in shares, buy some dips, buy red days. It's going to be. It'll probably do this, and we have one more pop, and then we do this.
Yeah.
But again, that's worst case. Like 385 is worst case scenario. I truly believe. Because at that point, I mean, if you're just doing math from the high today, 385 is 20%. I mean,
that's what we load up.
Yeah, I have back traded Tesla. This is the time for you guys to make millions the next 4 years. It's like start studying now. Think through what your risk is going to be. If you could risk 20 grand to make 150, will you? It's like, I hope so. Figure out what that looks like. Swing for the fences a little bit. Talk to your wife and go, all right, hey, here's what we're doing. And give yourself a little bit of cushion. Okay.
for sure.
All right, let me draw this really quick. I'm just gonna. That looks like a good squigs to me. All right. All right, squad. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Love you all so much.
Jeremy, thanks for coming. This was awesome as usual. We should do this more often, man. This is just so awesome. And congratulations on your new house in California, on your million yesterday, and everything, man.
Thanks, bro. I love you all so much. You're amazing. You're incredible people. Thanks for being in my life.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Alright, squad. Det var Jeremy. Jeg synes sgu, det er altid godt lige at høre Jeremys take på verden derude. Han er jo amerikaner og har den amerikanske tilgang til tingene, hvor alt jo bare er lyserødt. Men der er jo noget over det mentale, han taler om, ikke også? Hvor vi danskere godt kan være lidt sorte mind. Og så kunne jeg godt lide, når han taler om hvordan man bygger de der konti og strategier der. Det er jo ikke særlig indviklet i virkeligheden. Det er bare at gå ud og gøre det. Så jeg vil sige tak for i aften. Tak fordi I kom alle sammen. Fedt med et godt, solidt opmøde. Og jeg er ikke blevet kaldt til jobsamtale på torsdag, som jeg måske regner med. Og det betyder, at vi fyrer den af til Backtrading Marathon hele torsdagen fra kl. 8 til 18. Jeg glæder mig til at se så mange af jer som overhovedet muligt. Programmet kommer ud i Slack lige om lidt. Vi ses. Hej.